Let me take you back to a night I'll never forget, a night that changed the entire course of my life. It was 3 a.m. when my phone started buzzing on my nightstand. I groggily reached over, expecting maybe a wrong number or a spam call. But no, it was my fiancée, desperate, her voice trembling through the speaker. My card got declined at the club. They won't let us leave unless I pay the bill. I need you to send me $2,000 right now. I stared at the ceiling, heart pounding, and replied with the only words I could muster. Call your dad. Then, I powered off my phone and tried to drift back to sleep, not knowing that the next call I'd get would be from the police. Let's rewind a bit, because this story is wild, and you need the full picture. My name's Jake, I'm 30, and until recently, I was engaged to Tiffany, who's 27. We'd been together for a couple of years, engaged for 8 months, but we hadn't moved in together yet. I wanted to make sure we were truly compatible before signing a lease. Call it cautious, call it smart, but thank God I did. Tiffany lived with 2 roommates about 20 minutes from my place. She came from a wealthy family, but her parents had cut her off a couple of years ago. She always said it was because they were controlling and didn't respect her independence, but she never really gave details. She worked at a marketing firm, making maybe $40,000 a year, but you'd never know it from the way she lived. Designer bags, fancy dinners, the works. She spent like she was still on her parents' payroll. Money had always been a sore spot between us. Tiffany expected me to pick up every tab, every time, because that's what boyfriends do. But I work in commercial HVAC, I make a good living, but I'm not a millionaire. I made it clear from the start, I'm not funding someone else's luxury lifestyle. Things got worse when her friends got involved. Tiffany's college crew, 4 women who all married rich, and now spend their days shopping, brunching, and posting their lives on Instagram. They'd pressure Tiffany to keep up, suggesting expensive trips to Napa or Vegas, and when she couldn't afford it, they'd make snide comments about her budget lifestyle. I told her more than once, real friends don't make you feel small for living within your means. But Tiffany was desperate to keep up appearances, even if it meant going into debt. 3 weeks ago, one of her friends, Madison, got engaged to an investment banker. The engagement party was at a swanky downtown venue, open bar, gourmet catering, the kind of event that costs more than my car. I watched as these women competed over who had the biggest ring, the fanciest dress, the most exclusive vacation plans. Tiffany looked miserable all night. She'd borrowed a dress from her roommate and kept whispering about how lucky Madison was to have a man who could provide. That's when it hit me. Tiffany wasn't looking at me as a partner. She was measuring me against her friends' husbands, seeing me as a walking wallet. The week after, she started dropping hints about wanting a bigger engagement ring. Mine was a modest 1 carat, but she kept showing me pictures of Madison's 3-carat rock. I shut that down fast. If you want to compete with trust fund babies, you should have thought about that before getting engaged to a working guy, I told her. 2 weeks ago, Tiffany announced she was planning her bachelorette party in Miami. Not asking, telling. The cost? $3,000 per person, and she wanted to bring her sister, so she expected me to cover $6,000 as an engagement gift. I laughed. Where do you think that money's coming from? I asked. She said her friends were all pitching in, and she expected me to do the same. That was my line in the sand. If you want to go to Miami, you'll have to pay for it yourself, I said. The fight that followed was epic. She accused me of being controlling, of embarrassing her in front of her friends. I reminded her that we'd talked about financial compatibility before getting engaged. You can choose Miami or a fiancé, but I'm not paying for both. She stormed out and stayed with her friend Charlotte for 3 days. When she came back, she said her dad had agreed to pay for the trip if she promised to be more responsible. I was suspicious, but she insisted. The Miami trip was set for last weekend. Thursday morning, Tiffany left for the airport, suitcases in tow, posting stories about first-class seats and pre-flight mimosas. The red flags started immediately. Thursday night, she posted videos from a restaurant where appetizers cost $60. Friday was poolside cabanas, $500 a day. Saturday was shopping sprees on Lincoln Road. I kept quiet, but something felt off. Either her dad was being way more generous than she'd let on, or she was racking up debt. Friday night, I got a drunk text from Tiffany, her and the girls at a rooftop club with bottle service. Saturday was more of the same. Expensive lunches, yacht rentals, designer shopping. Her Instagram looked like a reality show. Then, at 3:17 a.m. Sunday, my phone rang. Tiffany yelling over club music. My card declined. We ran up a huge tab. Security took our IDs. They're calling the police if we can't pay. I need you to send $2,000 right now. I sat up trying to process. What do you mean your card declined? I thought your dad was paying. She admitted he'd only given her money for the hotel and flights. Everything else was on her credit cards, and now they were maxed out. The club bill? $8,000. They'd settle for $6,000 if she paid cash. That's when it all clicked. There was never any money from her dad. She'd been financing the whole trip on credit, and now reality was crashing down. Call your dad, I said. She started crying, begging me to help. But I'd had enough. If your dad has money for your lifestyle, he can get you out of this mess. I'm not your ATM. I hung up, turned off my phone, and went back to sleep. The next morning, my phone was blowing up. Dozens of missed calls, desperate texts, voicemails I didn't bother to listen to. Then, around 11 a.m., a call from a Miami number. I almost didn't answer, but something told me I should. Is this Jake? This is Sergeant Rodriguez with Miami Beach PD. We have your fiancée Tiffany in custody. She asked us to contact you. My heart sank. What are the charges? I asked. Theft of services and disorderly conduct. She and her friends racked up a large bill at a nightclub and couldn't pay. When officers arrived, your fiancée became belligerent and resisted arrest. She'll be released if someone posts her $1,000 bail. I took a deep breath. I'm not in Miami, and I won't be posting bail or covering any costs. She'll need to contact her family. The officer paused. She was very insistent you'd help. She created this mess. She can figure out how to clean it up. After I hung up, I sat there numb. 9 months ago, I thought I was marrying someone responsible. Now she was in jail because she couldn't control her spending. The next few hours were chaos. Tiffany's friends started calling, demanding I bail her out. Charlotte screamed at me for abandoning my fiancé. Madison accused me of being controlling. I told them all the same thing. If you're such good friends, you can help her out. My wallet isn't responsible for your bad decisions. Around 3 p.m., I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was Tiffany's father, calling from the airport on his way to Miami. We need to talk, he said. About what, Mr. Walsh? About the fact that my daughter is in jail because her fiancé refused to help her. I almost laughed. She's in jail because she lied about having money for a trip she couldn't afford. Your daughter has a problem with financial responsibility, and I'm not enabling it. He sighed. We haven't given Tiffany money in over 2 years. She burned through her trust fund in 6 months and expected us to keep funding her lifestyle. I'm going to handle the bail and legal fees, but you should know, Tiffany owes about $40,000 on credit cards. This trip probably added another $15,000 to $20,000. My stomach dropped. $60,000 in debt, hidden from me. If we'd gotten married, I could have been on the hook for all of it. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Because you seem like a decent guy. Tiffany has always had a problem with money and consequences. We tried to teach her responsibility by cutting her off, but she just found other ways to spend. That evening, Tiffany called from the airport. Her dad had bailed her out, and they were flying home. She was crying, apologizing, promising to change. I let her talk, then cut her off. It's over, Tiffany. What do you mean? I said I was sorry. People in relationships help each other. People in relationships are honest. You've been lying about money for months, racking up debt that would have become my problem. That's not a mistake. That's betrayal. She begged for another chance, promised to cut up her cards, get counseling, anything. But trust, once shattered, can't be glued back together with promises. I'm done, Tiffany. Don't contact me again. I blocked her number, packed up her things, and felt lighter than I had in months. The next morning, Tiffany showed up at my door, eyes swollen, still in yesterday's clothes. She begged me not to throw away everything over one stupid weekend. I handed her a box of her things. I don't love who you've become. The person I fell for was honest and responsible. You've been lying and planning to make me responsible for your debt. That's not love. That's manipulation. She called me cruel, heartless. How can you throw away our future over money? I'm not ending it over money. I'm ending it because you don't share my values. You care more about appearances than honesty. We're not compatible, and we never were. She stood on my porch crying, but I closed the door. Sometimes, you have to make hard choices to protect your future, even when it hurts. Since then, Tiffany's tried to contact me through mutual friends. She's in credit counseling now, apparently, and wants to prove she's changed. Her friends still harass me online, calling me heartless. I found out from her roommate that her total debt is closer to $70,000, and she lost her job after missing work for the Miami trip. She's moved back in with her parents. My family thinks I made the right choice. Her family is split. Some are mad at me. Some are relieved I won't be taking on her problems. I'm focusing on myself, my career, and looking into buying a house, without worrying about someone else's debt. If you're in a relationship, pay attention to how your partner handles money and stress. Those habits don't magically improve after marriage. They usually get worse. 3 months ago, I was planning a wedding. Now, I'm planning a life where I don't have to worry about someone else's bad decisions dragging me down. Sometimes, the worst things that happen to you turn out to be the best things that could have. And that 3 a.m. phone call? It was the wake-up call I needed to save my future.